Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of How to Dominate Your City with Local Area Leaders. So this is Laura, Jason Richardson here with Hunter Rowe. And today we are super stoked and excited to have on some awesome guests, a brother-sister duo who own CrossFit Rolesville. So Megan and Thomas, welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah,
thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So we've known Megan and Thomas for a couple of years.
Yeah, a few years now. It's kind of hard to believe the time has flown by.
Yeah, and then they are, like I said, CrossFit Rolesville. So an awesome gym. We'll get into their backstory a little bit, how they opened it, how they kind of thought about the ideas, how they're being impacted currently, and just kind of some awesomeness of both of them. We've really enjoyed getting to know them over the past few years. Laura still actively works out there all the time, keeping pregnant, and we've been implementing some of the workouts into our home gym through the pandemic right now that they're putting out as well. So we'll hit on that shortly too.
Yeah, and we would love for them to talk a little bit about that, of how they've adapted during the current circumstances and the awesome coaching that has continued to kind of fluidly roll into this time frame. So before we jump into all the particulars, Thomas and Megan, if you guys can just tell us a little bit about your backstory. I know you went a little bit in depth because you guys also have a podcast, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the episodes, I know in the podcast, you guys told your whole story of start to finish. So if you can kind of give us the nutshell version of that, and then listeners can definitely check that out.
Oh, yeah, we'll link it also when we put this out. We'll link that podcast too.
But yeah, so I guess it started off with me getting into CrossFit in the first place, I guess. So I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps, and one of my deployments in 2013, kind of saw some guys doing some CrossFit. I started working out just because we had the time to. When I started to kind of get into that stuff, and I went to the like normal gym kind of setting for like 4 days, and I was like kind of over it. And then saw some guys doing CrossFit, got into CrossFit, and then kind of called home, and I was like, kind of drank the Kool-Aid pretty much. So I was kind of telling everybody about it, and then I was telling my dad about it, and then telling Megan about it as well, and it kind of went from there. And then when I came home, that's when it was kind of one of those things where like, hey, if you wanted to make this, a business, it could be. And that's kind of where my dad stepped into things, where he was kind of really, pushing us to really go forward with this, to have something for me to do as I get out of the Marine Corps. And around that same time, like when I was getting into it, got Megan into it as well.
Cool.
But what about you, Megan? So kind of the same.
Well, I was actually coaching and doing Zumba before CrossFit. Yeah, very, very little change. But Thomas had kept like, hey, try it out, check it out, just see it. And I was like kind of looking at it, doing some research. I was like, all this like weights and things like that. I was like, no thanks. So I was actually going to go into yoga. But I didn't do that. And I finally tried out one class at a CrossFit box in Morrisville, and I was instantly hooked. And then once I kind of got into it, I think that's when Dad put the puzzle pieces together, and actually it was like, this could be a very viable option for you guys.
So you guys are, again, brother and sister. Thomas was in the military. Thank you for your service. We definitely appreciate that.
Thank you.
And he brings you this idea. And so, actually, I think first take a step back. You guys are from this area. Like, you've grown up in the Rolesville area, correct?
Correct. We grew up in Franklinton.
Yeah. Franklinton. So, this is your backyard. You planted a gym here in your backyard. But when he came to you with that idea, was there ever anything between you guys of like, okay, we're starting a business, but at the same time, like, I remember giving you a chokehold through your childhood and everything. Like, did you think you guys would mesh, or was there any friction there from the beginning? Were you thinking about that at all?
Thomas and I have oddly gotten along pretty well, like most of our childhood. We're about 4 years apart. I'm older. As Thomas pointed out in our 4-year anniversary video. But we've always kind of gotten along really well. We've worked well together. We have had a long time apart though. So when I went to college, he was still in high school. Then he went into the military. Again, we hadn't maybe hung out for a while during those times. So I think there was that kind of uncertainty, because I remember actually talking to my dad. I was like, what if Thomas kind of sucks at like,
Right?
like, what if he's not very good at this?
And
Really,
I was talking to our dad as well. Like, what if Megan sucks?
Right.
So we both
maybe
had this
dad
like
being
little,
mediator through the whole thing.
well, that's how dad kind of came into our like business partnership, I guess. He was kind of that third person. So if Thomas and I ever disagreed on anything, he was kind of that like split down the middle where he could decide. But we've gotten along pretty good so far.
Yeah, we even the first like few years open, we lived together too. So
yeah.
That's cool. So you go from doing basically beach workout of like chest and buys, just the normal dumbbells everybody uses, to CrossFit. How long did it take you like to know that you were like instantly hooked on that type of workout in general?
Like instantly. So
something you've never experienced prior to.
Yeah. So I guess to go even further back, so through middle school and high school, I raced motocross growing up. So I had that kind of competitive racing nature kind of already in me. And then when I joined the Marine Corps, that's when I had to leave that stuff behind, and I always really missed it. So when I asked to go to the CrossFit class, which was ran by my XO in the unit that I was in Bahrain, he was like, it was surprisingly, it was Memorial Day weekend, and that was the weekend that I started CrossFit, and it was Murph. And then
right.
Yeah, and I was like already, so I was like 150, like 145, 150, like a toothpick.
Soaking
it was
wet.
Like, yeah. It was running, pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats. So it was like, like I'm good at this. Like, so, and I ended up going, and that was the first time, and it was like that competitive atmosphere and that kind of little bit racing to it as well. And then, and also it didn't hurt that I did pretty well, and I beat a lot of guys. So I was like, I like this, So it was like day one where I was pretty hooked.
Yeah, the competition part is always there. I mean, we've done CrossFit for a while, and that part is awesome, especially like the group atmosphere. Megan, when you first did like your first CrossFit workout after Thomas kind of brought this idea up to you, what did you think about it? Going from Zumba to, would you say Pilates or yoga, all the way to CrossFit?
It was definitely all different for me. Like I've actually never did any barbell weights before. I never did weightlifting in high school or college. So that was all very different, but I was like instantly hooked. I don't know if it, I'm definitely a person who likes the class atmosphere. So I don't know if I'm competitive, but y'all know how I work out. I'm not like competitive. I go at my own pace. But I like someone instructing me, and I've always been kind of a toothpick type frame as well. And so I started getting a little booty, which was really nice, and started getting a little like figure, which I really enjoyed as well. But just the fact that it was always different, I was like instantly just really drawn to everything about CrossFit.
Yeah, the variation, and go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think you both have spoke to the two ends of the spectrum, which is one reason why CrossFit has grown to what it is now, where you have like the competitive person that wants to beat everybody and constantly challenging themselves to either lift more, go faster, or do Hero WODs like Murph, which is pretty intense. Or you have folks who have to modify a lot of things in the beginning, and it's, something that I don't think people are very aware of in the beginning as to how much you can modify.
Yeah.
Because I think that you guys have probably heard from a lot of folks when they're starting it and they're like, oh, I don't know, is that too hardcore? Because they might see those elite athletes and kind of feel like it's a daunting thing to take on, and it's not at all.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a good point. So if somebody's walking into your gym and they are looking to try it out, but they get scared, the hardest part is walking in there if you don't know what CrossFit is. You're intimidated by it. You see people hanging upside down or lifting a lot of weights, and it's that initial step that is kind of tough to do. So what do you tell those people when they come in and they want to, try a class out or something, or they try the class and then they feel like they can't move forward because they're terrible at it?
Thomas, or you want me?
Yeah. For me, I always like, reassure everybody, like you gotta start somewhere to go somewhere, like with anything. So no matter where you're at, it's, it's only forward. So, you know, and then kind of list off like, you know, everything that we'll be able to do for them, like scaling wise, you know, everything in like, what am I trying to say? And completely reiterate, like, no matter what level you're at, I'm trying to achieve like the same stimulus per person. So like if I got like the higher end athletes, or, you know, I got my grandmas or whoever, I want to make sure, you know, everything's scaled appropriately to where, you know, they're getting the same stimulus for the day. So if movements are changed, intensities are changed, you know, all that kind of stuff, like no matter what, you know, we're going to find something that's going to work for each person to achieve, you know, what we're trying to get to that day.
Yeah, I mean, safety is another part of that, because I remember walking in and the foundation, you know, you guys as instructors is one thing. It's you got to have a good instructor, you know, at the gym that you're at. And both of you are phenomenal at what you do on that part, which made me more comfortable when I first went in there and everything, trying to learn some of that part. But I'm one of those that have to modify like significantly a lot of things, just, you know, back injuries from a young age and stuff. And you can still go in there and get a workout and have somebody train you, like you said, from an elite athlete all the way down to modification.
Or even somebody like myself who's pregnant right now and having to modify whatever you can because you can't even see your feet. But
so
I think that's why we've always. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that's why we've always been really comfortable with our intro into our classes, because we do allow that one-on-one session, which you kind of get like a taste of what it's going to be like and how we can scale different movements. But we offer the 7 classes afterwards, which really allows people to kind of see other people work out, really shows how each class we can modify it or tailor it to them. Because I know you can come into one workout and, you know, that one workout could be like the worst workout ever. And that's very kind of unfortunate sometimes if that's your like first one. But if you come again and again, you kind of just stick with it, you can kind of see how it does modify or kind of work out to whatever fitness level you're at.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit now. I want to go back about a month ago or 6 weeks ago when the pandemic first hit where we're at and everybody was put into a shelter in place, and gyms were one of those that could not have anybody come back. You know, first thing that come to your mind is gym owners. Like, where were you all at? Like, fill us in on what you were thinking during that time, and then we'll get to like how you've kind of recreated the gym since then as well.
Well,
you're panicking.
I think another good thing why Thomas and I work so well together is we're very kind of yin and yang. I've kind of got the nickname sometimes is like Mama Megan, where I'm definitely more cautious and more worrisome, I guess, about some things, or whereas Thomas is kind of the cool, level-headed, like it's gonna be okay kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely a little bit more panicked about it, I guess, at the beginning, whereas Thomas was, again, it's going to be all right.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is, out of the people we've interviewed so far, everybody's been directly impacted by it from all the businesses, but you all are almost at the top of that list if we had to list them out, because it was a hard stop date where nobody else could come into the gym. And that was given to you by the government, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's why, like, even from the outside, the people who want to go to the gym were like, oh, crap. So I wonder how you guys are feeling. Thomas, I heard what you just said right there. I'm sure it was panic at first.
Yeah. So once we made that, I think we made the call to close, I think a day or two prior to that. And then
it was a couple of days before.
Yeah. And then, so you had to get the wheels turning and immediately start to think about like, all right, so what can we provide? What can we do? It kind of keep everything going, keep everybody engaged. If people are going to stop or cancel, pause, whatever it may be, but we still need to, for the people who want to stick around, what can we do to provide for them? And so the video home workouts we've been doing, and also the equipment borrowing thing that we what are the couple things that we did to, since the gym, all the equipment at the gym's not going to be getting used there, try to divvy it out to as many people as we could. during that.
So I'm going to butt in real quick on that because I want to build on that because you were a part of that actually. So CrossFit Rolesville is one of the first gyms that we saw in the area.
There was lending stuff out to their clientele. I mean, you think about how much money some of that stuff costs and the painstaking effort to even do things like your boxes that you built yourself and are putting all that together, and just the logistics of keeping track of everything, and the trust that you're putting in your community that you've built to lend those things out for an extended period of time. And I think y'all were one of the first boxes that I knew of that was actually giving those things to their members. You weren't charging a rental fee on top of it. Like, it was just something you did out of the goodness of your heart. It was overwhelming.
And then what it says a lot about the community that's at the gym, because CrossFit is a large part of that is community, and every box is different. And yours is one of the tightest and best communities I've ever been a part of and experienced before. So I think that's something else that we can touch on. But once that happened, I'm sure when you were panicked, like you were saying, and you started putting these home workouts together, and then you did the rental program, I mean, that just shows right there that you redirected all the panic right back into how can you help out everybody that's in the gym and the member that's a part of it, knowing that the workouts are a huge part of their day. It's a stress relief, and it brings through the uncertainty, it brings a little bit of certainty knowing they're going to be able to work out of their homes. So that just speaks volumes, right there, that part. I think we should touch on the home gym workouts you've been providing to everybody, all the members throughout this time. Like, I'm sure that it's been hard to put them together because not everybody has weights, a lot of body weight, and then you had to shift from normal programming to basically your own programming at this time. Can you tell us how that's gone, or like what are you doing for help for that?
Yeah, so just like with me, like when I'm kind of writing down programming for normal life, like in the gym, stuff like that, I still wanted to be, as effective and as, useful as anything like that. But coming up with stuff that's going to be varied throughout the week has been pretty tough because, we're pretty limited. A lot of people are limited what they can do. So trying to come up with movements and workouts that no matter, what they have around the house. So if they, got some dumbbells from us or the rec bag, that's why I also been making a lot of backpack workouts. So if they weren't able to get any of those pieces of equipment, they can make that and then also do that workout, with that. So trying to come up with good workouts that are going to be varied enough to where they're not going to be doing, burpees and running and jump rope every single day or push-ups and sit-ups every single day. It was a little challenging, but I think we gotten into a good rhythm to where I've been trying to program some movements to where no matter what you have, should be able to get through it pretty well. Even for the people who do have a good amount of equipment at home, been trying to make some workouts for those guys as well.
Yeah, I know I've appreciated having warm-ups explained to me within the workout, because otherwise I'd be doing the same 3 things over and over and over again, which I'm sure defeats the purpose of what a warm-up is.
That's also one of those things too. Like if I know I didn't put it down, I don't think they would do it.
True. That's that accountability thing you talk about, But I've also seen members that are posting their workouts or completing the ones that you put up there back into the members group, and it's keeping everybody accountable through it. So everybody, for the most part, I'd say majority of the gym is still working out at home, which has been cool to see.
Yeah.
And I know, Megan, you've done some like contests and some other like fun stuff, but what are some other ideas that maybe not are in like the programming of what you would more typically see at a CrossFit gym? What have you done to help build community amongst the members?
Honestly, right now, I think with everybody being quarantined, social media is just such a big part right now. It's one of the biggest ways we can stay connected. So through our private group page, I know people already post a lot in there, but I think just posting as much as they can in there just kind of help you stay connected and have that community feel, even if it is just like a sweaty selfie after a workout. I just try to like throw so much love when people do that, just because, I mean, 1, I love to see it, and 2, I mean, I like to see everyone's faces and things like that. We've done Quarantine Go, which is like a bingo type challenge we've done before in our gym, where they just have to complete a certain activity, whether it's 100 sit-ups or burpees or whatever it may be, try to get 5 in a row. So we've done that, which is, I've made it accessible for people at home so they can do it at home. And I think that's been kind of a big hit. But again, I've just been telling people to tag us, post whatever you can. Just social media, I think in general, is a big way to keep us all connected.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll definitely include y'all's social media handles and stuff at the end of this so people can continue to follow that success. Something that I think you guys both mentioned earlier, just kind of how you guys are a yin and yang kind of together with coaching. Something I know as a member I've always admired is, Thomas, with your coaching and your programming, and you're also kind of a techie, right? Being able to create these videos for us at home to be able to see what all this stuff is, and even like pictures and slideshows. And then Megan, you building that community and having the marketing side of it. And like even your t-shirt designs are always phenomenal. And I do appreciate the non-tie-dye. I just want to throw that out.
That's a good point, because the videos you're putting out for at-home workouts they're videos. It's not like you're just putting down a workout and sending it on its way. I mean, you're going through the movements and everything on that part, which people are probably going to want to continue with the regular workouts even, the night before.
Yeah.
So they have set precedents. Yeah.
No, but you both are just such positive individuals, and I think that's something we can say to both of your personalities, is y'all are just a joy to be around, and I think that has continued to flow even virtually. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Oh, well, thank you.
On the subject of COVID and everything, what has been like one of the, I'd say, the toughest things during this stay-at-home period for you all? Because normally you're at the gym 12 hours a day.
For me, I'm a people person. So again, just the interaction from day to day, like seeing people, talking to people, and it may not even be like necessary coaching, just talking about what they did at work that day, what their kids did. That's probably been the hardest for me, just not seeing people and having that conversations, or that one-on-one time.
Sure.
And yeah, people have been making fun of me, like, because they know how introverted I am. Like,
well, that dark room doesn't say
anything. Through for you, right? I'm like, and yeah, even me, I'm like, really missing everybody at the gym, kind of just hanging out, and just coaching, because, I've been trying, been making the videos, like trying to go over the entire workout, going over each movement, but I'm just in the gym by myself talking to a camera. I'm not, critiquing anybody, or I'm not like, work with anybody to kind of help better themselves, and, while coaching. But, so just coaching for me, really. Yeah. So just kind of getting into classes and, trying to help people through that. It's been the one thing I've been really missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we all have been missing it. I know our form when we come back is probably going to be all over the place.
Like, what have you guys been doing?
Yeah, mobility is going to be the issue, I think.
Oh, gosh, yes, absolutely. For all the people who haven't been actually doing the warm-ups.
So how, right now, for the community that's listening in on this and wanting to support you, or in general, what can they do to support you for the gym during this time?
As far as our community goes, I mean, I'm almost speechless when it comes to how much support everyone's shown us. I think I did like a social media post the other day, just like how many people have texted me or Thomas, reached out just to make sure we're okay. And it just shows how much they have our back. And again, we have you guys back for sure. Just honestly doing what you're still doing. We completely understand every member at our gym has different circumstances. So if they can't continue their memberships or things like that, we completely understand. But again, just posting social media stuff, texting a friend or someone you used to work out with is all I can ask for. And I think it's the biggest help.
Yeah, for sure.
So fingers crossed everything continues to go well and that eventually we will be able to be inside the building again. But I know you guys actually have some plans for a new location. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that, because as a member, I know I'm personally very, very excited about some upcoming things on the horizon for you guys.
This place looks awesome. Please touch on it.
Yeah, so things are falling into place a little bit right now. So we were supposed to have a special use permit meeting with the town of Roseville like 2 weeks ago?
2 days ago, yeah.
A couple of days ago, or a week ago or two ago. Obviously that didn't happen. So we're kind of just playing it by ear for when we're going to be able to do that and have that meeting with the town to get that special use permit to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit more. But we did have a meeting with our contractors the other day, and they're getting things in place and getting the ball rolling with a lot of things. So by the time we do have that meeting, everything's going to be able to kind of just fall right after the other.
Cool.
Once we get the things going. Yeah.
Is there anything that or if you can disclose, that's going to be at this gym versus the one that you currently have right now? Any differences in them?
Yeah, a lot.
Way bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah, a lot bigger.
We'll have an outdoor area, which will be pretty awesome.
Indoor, outdoor rigs. That's awesome.
Yes. We'll have kind of a mezzanine type area for people to hang out.
First time
whatever they want to do up there.
In a Zoom call with it.
Yes, I know. I love it.
Cool.
But we're pretty excited. The whole front desk area, showers will be in there, which will be exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we had so many people just hanging around the gym all day anyways, trying to accommodate a lot of those people by having some stuff areas for people to work or hang out, and if they're early for the workout or they want to hang out a little bit while after they work out and stuff like that, there's going to be a place for them to be and hang out. Yeah, like I said, Megan said, the outdoor area, showers.
Partially air conditioning.
Partially.
Nice.
Partially.
Okay. Hey, any AC is helpful, and of course it's still in Rolesville. So.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Next thing you know, y'all will be adding a B&B edition for the folks who genuinely never see. Which is going to be awesome.
New membership. Talks about it.
Yeah.
Charging rent.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Well, I know you guys talked a little bit about the process of somebody who decides that they want to start CrossFit. They go through your one-on-one training. They can do the 7 days, 7 sessions to be able to kind of test out multiple classes. So hopefully that will be the same process coming back that people will be able to do. But until that point, what would you guys recommend to folks who are like, this CrossFit thing sounds great, this place, CrossFit Rolesville, want to check it out? What can they do between now and then to kind of either get familiar with CrossFit or with our community at the gym?
So for me, for people who contacted us, because I'm actually still getting people who are interested in things like that, which is super awesome. People who are still kind of moving and in this weird time trying to figure out where to go for a gym. I've been giving them the option, even though they're not quite active members yet, to jump into our private Facebook page, like I said, to see some of Thomas's instructional videos. And if they have any questions or things like that, I give them my personal cell phone number. They can text us if they have any questions on how to possibly modify a movement. I know Thomas has been getting video, submissions if he needs to help critique anything or help someone with something. So that's kind of the best we got right now. But again, we hope to be open eventually. So if they can kind of get a foot into the door right now, that's awesome.
Well, I was going to say, I would imagine a lot of high school and college athletes probably would be reaching out to you guys, or if they're not, they should be, to be able to get some of that coaching of things that they can be doing in the meantime while sports are kind of on hold. But
yeah. So sorry, Jason's drawing on me. We've gone through the list of the questions that we kind of wanted to get through. We always end our show or episode on a couple of final questions. So we want to start those off. And Megan, we'll let you answer first when we ask these questions.
Yeah, so one of them is either book or Netflix recommendation for folks who need one right now.
So I'm a hardcore show and movie watcher. I am almost finished with Ozark. I highly recommend it. It's got some entrepreneurship stuff going on, but it's all legal, so don't do it.
Gotcha.
But it's a really good show, and he's very motivated, and you can take some things away from it.
Understood. That's awesome. How about you?
There's a show on Netflix as well, Blacklist, and it's like, yeah, we found it like pretty much right at the beginning of all this, and it had like 7 seasons, and then like 22 episodes per season, and we smashed it in like 2 weeks.
That's funny.
It was really
And
good.
Thomas thinks I'm like the doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, the lead character in this show looks just like Megan, and her real name is Megan, which is
that's awesome.
that's weird. But it's a really good show.
We watched the first few seasons.
We did.
Then something happened like kids.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, TV watching went out the window, right? All right. So, favorite local restaurant or hangout spot?
Local restaurant. Oh, I love to eat so much.
You don't have to like. It doesn't have to be your absolute favorite. Just one that comes to mind.
You recommend right now that might still be open and is doing like curbside that you've kind of gone to?
Well, Over the Falls has been awesome and very like seamless. Like literally call it in, you drive up, they have it ready, they know kind of type thing. And Over the Falls, just like almost everything on their menu is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
I've been still slamming black and white coffee every other day.
Yeah, they're
location
good.
right next to the gym. And
No,
now leads us into the next question.
All right, so you guys know me well enough. Still drinking coffee. It's the middle of the afternoon. Nothing has changed under quarantine. So our next question is, how do you take your coffee? And if you don't drink coffee, why not? Explain what's wrong.
I'm straight black. It's very boring, but just black. I think when I was really, really young, I think I went to Starbucks and I got so overwhelmed with everything on there and I didn't know what Frappuccino or anything was. I just ordered a black coffee and drinking black coffee ever since.
Well, I can relate to that because I don't really drink coffee. I would drink a black coffee, but I'm getting duped on energy water, which is, who knows? It's just probably water and can carbonation. It says it's energy. So I'm with you on that. What about you, Thomas?
As long as it's iced, I'm good.
Yeah.
And preferably, I'm a big cold brew guy as well.
Yep.
So.
Cool.
Well, I don't discriminate. All coffee is great. Doesn't matter if it's black coffee, cold, hot, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, last question is, what's best piece of advice that you can give someone that's either starting to think about opening up their own business, and especially if they are related?
Well, as far as the business part goes, for what I do on our end of the business, I would just say systems. Like, just make sure you have like a process, like for when you step away, or if you wanted to go on a vacation or whatever, you were able to give it to someone else and it could still run seamlessly. Yeah. As far as working with a sibling, I think we're kind of a weird duo.
You complement each other.
I feel like our interest kind of ended up being what our delegations are. So, and I would say with any partnership as well, like it should always be, delegating, certain things to a certain person. And we kind of just fell into it very early into the gym, starting to where, I had the things that I do and she has the things that she does. I have no idea how to do the things that she does, and she has no idea how to do the things that I do.
Right.
So we never really step on each other's feet with that. And it's helped, and that's really helped us keep things running very smoothly, because if it's a thing that's in her area, I'm like, if that's what you think is best, go for it. And if it's a thing in my area, it's the same thing coming from her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, with the respect and stuff back and forth, I think that goes for any great dynamic.
Yeah. Last question of the final 5 is, do you have a local business you want to shout out? If you can't think of one, it's okay, but we like to put that in there because it helps with our interviews too that we go forward on.
I knew.
Salty
Turtle Beer Company. They're not like super local, but they're North Carolina local. I date one of the owners, Dan Callender, but they brew some really good beer and they deliver out our way. But just a good company. They help turtles, obviously, but in all this good stuff, they're great.
Cool.
Same thing. Salted turtle.
It runs in the family.
I can't wait to partake in my support of Salty Turtle.
Yeah.
8 more weeks, 7 more weeks. What are we on countdown?
I don't know. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we really appreciate both of you guys being here. We know that y'all have a million and one things going on, but your time is so valuable to us, and so we really just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the time. I think as a wrap up, to kind of go back through this, first of all, we're going to get your social media handles. We'll tag them into the outline of this Zoom call that when we post it to our YouTube channel, and we'll make sure everybody can get in contact with you there when we post it. So I think as a wrap up, just a couple of things to kind of go back over is Megan said something really important at the end of that when she said about systems, putting it in place, especially for somebody that's wanting to start their own business. 100% agree. I think it's actually probably the most important thing that somebody can do. And there's some great books out there as well that talk about putting systems in place, but you can't get your business to run like automatically, but you can almost automate it, with a lot of certain things. So that will help. Also, Thomas talked about competitiveness, accountability, and community. All of those things for CrossFit Rolesville are definitely adjectives for the gym, and it's just why people go there and flock toward it around the city of Wake Forest and Rolesville. We are, again, extremely thankful for your service. Thankful for your time today, for coming on here. And your gym is awesome. You guys keep it up and keep it rocking, and can't wait to see the new location too.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk with you soon.
Cool.
Thank you.